we have one, no, we don't. We have 19. I don't have any suggestion or recommendation for changing the agenda. Would you look down that agenda and evaluate and decide if that agenda is okay with you? And if so, we'll accept a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
Mr. Chair, I make the motion that we approve the agenda as printed.
All right, we have a motion. Ms.
Second.
All right. Ms. Mayfield seconds that motion. Any questions, any comments? Those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it. That motion is approved. We'll move into old business. Item number 1, Lincoln Total and word of information. We will take these one at a time and act on each one individually. Item number 1, Lincoln Total Community Action. What is your pleasure? Ms. Mayfield?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we give Lincoln Total Community Action what they have requested for 2022.
Okay.
The $6,000.
All right, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Comments?
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to abstain if they will show me abstaining from the vote.
All right. Members of the committee, I'm going to abstain because, as I have said for the past 14 years, I'm not in favor of cash funding for schools. We do school activities, and I've talked with some of you about it, in-kind work to help those schools, roads, fields, whatever. But this is the only one that we give cash money to. I'm going to abstain. We have a motion. We have a second. Any further comments or?
Do we know what the reason for the increase?
It's their request last year was also $6,000. We funded them at $4,000. So the amount of the request has not increased.
All right. Did they indicate what the purpose of that money was for?
Michael, I believe that they did. I believe it was for maintenance work, particularly for yard maintenance, if I remember correctly.
Skip, when you say, did they ask what the purpose for this, did you ask any of the rest of the agencies that said that what their request?
I didn't ask anybody.
Okay, but you asked him now.
He did.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just asked her, and the way I look at this, the times right now, I can see that given what they gave them last year is substantial, but if they have a specific reason for the increase, that's all I was asking.
Well, the economy is, everything is going.
Oh, absolutely. I don't disagree with that.
Okay. All right. Let's move into the voting. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying nay. And there are 2 abstentions. All right. Item number 2, Bayou Lake Darbone Commission. All right. We need to speak up and move.
Mr. Chair, I make the recommendation that we give them what they've asked for, $1,800.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Mr. Anderson. Those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying nay. Motion passes. We'll move into Sparta Groundwater Commission.
Mr. Chair, I make the recommendation that we award them what they've asked.
Second.
$2,500.
We have a motion and a second. Those in favor of that motion
Who was
indicate
the
by saying aye.
Mr. Chair, who's the
I'm
second?
sorry, question.
Mr. Henderson was the second, is that correct? Thank you, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't say that. Those opposed to the motion indicate by saying aye. Nay. The motion passes. Department of Veterans Affairs.
Mr. Chair, when I move that we give the Veteran Affairs what their 22 requests.
All right. That is a change of $2,900 more. Do we have a second for that motion?
Second.
All right, any discussion?
Same questions, you know, the reason for that specific number?
What we provide them a place, and then we provide them this money, and they're not here on a regular basis.
We're on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
They,
They're here
if
on
I
Monday,
may-
Wednesday, and Fridays.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yeah, it's not all day, every day. It's, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So they have a formula that they use to develop their request every year. It's very complicated. We receive a multi-page request that draws it out. But basically, historically, what we do is we have funded them at a $5,000 level plus their free rent and electricity for their office in lieu of what their monetary request is. I'll just say that.
Okay.
All right. Further discussion, or are you ready to vote? Committee. Those in favor of this motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed to the motion indicate by saying nay. Ayes have it. Approved. Council on Aging.
I move that we grant the Council of Aging what their request is.
All right, $5,000. Is there a second?
Second. Second.
Mr. Henderson seconded it. All in favor of that motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Number 6, IT Department.
Mr. Chair, I make the recommendation that we award them what they've asked. the
All right,
$20,000.
$20,000. Second,
Second.
we have a second. Ms. Mayfield. Those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed indicate by saying nay. That is approved. Lincoln Parish GIS, the request is the same as last year, $25,000. We require a motion.
Motion.
Second.
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
Mr. Pullen?
Mr. Pullen.
I'm sorry, I didn't see you, Mr. Pulley. Thank you. Mr. Henderson seconded. Those in favor of this motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it. That motion is approved for $25,000. Number 8, Juvenile Assistance Program.
Mr. Chair, I recommend that we give,
There's no request.
I believe
There's no request for juvenile assistance.
Okay.
Okay.
Skip that one.
Yeah. Number 9, 3rd Judicial District Court. This is an item that when they request, we are by law required to fund.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, $137,700. Those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it, that motion is approved. We'll move into LSU Cooperative Extension Service.
Mr. Chair, I move that we give the LA Cooperative Extension Service what they have requested.
All right, $20,000. Those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed to the motion indicate by saying nay. Ayes have it, that motion is approved.
Mr. Chair, who was the second on that? Do you mind me asking?
I'll
Okay, got it. Thank you.
All right, Lincoln Parish Clerk of Court.
Mr. Chair, I make the motion that we give
The clerk of court.
Clerk of Court does not have a request.
Correct.
All right, Registrar of Voters, number 12.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I make the motion that we award them the $50,000.
all right, thank you, Ms. White.
I have a question.
All right, let's have a second, then we'll discuss.
Second.
Mr. Pullen, discussion.
In 2020, which was last year,
21.
well, for this year, we funded them 53,231.
I believe we paid for half of an employee
Correct.
extra, and LSU paid for half of an
And they
employee.
don't need it anymore.
Okay, so the 50 is a decrease of $3,231.
Right,
Okay.
all right. Since you're ready to vote, all in favor of the motion to award registrar of voters $50,000, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, indicate by saying nay. Ayes, I'm sorry? Did we have a nay? Okay. That motion is approved. We'll move into Lincoln Parish Coroner. Lincoln Parish Coroner requires, same thing as last year, $60,483.
I make that motion, Mr.
We have a
Chairman.
motion here, Mr. Henderson.
Second.
All right, Ms. White seconds. Those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed indicate by saying nay. Ayes have it. That is approved. Number 14 would be the District Attorney's Office. This is another item that when requested, we are by law required to fund. Lincoln Parish District Attorney is asking for the same figure for last year as for last year and the year before, $244,660.
I make the motion.
We have a motion.
Second.
Ms. White, Ms. Mayfield seconds. Those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it. That is funded. Number 15, keep Lincoln Parish beautiful. No, I'm sorry. We have one, Trailblazer. The request was $5,000.
That's not, sorry.
That was their request in writing.
They didn't send
Why didn't they come to present it?
I don't know, but
They did. If you recall from last meeting, we had not received their letter yet. They did send it. Mr. Scriber made the verbal request, and then the next day they sent a letter.
I thought it was for the 2,500.
It
What?
was. It was.
What is it?
Okay, Laura, you have the request. Was it 2,500? 2,500.
25, all right.
Okay.
That is corrected, 25.
I move that we grant their request.
All right. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Henderson has a second. Those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying nay. Ayes have it. Now, I have jumped around. Let me go back to Four Paws. Oh, goodness. Let me go back to Four Paws. Bring us up to date on Four Paws, please.
Certainly. At this point, we have a comprehensive animal control program that we are utilizing within the parish. And that is that the Lincoln Parish Sheriff's Department, as you know, is very generous in providing a deputy that provides animal control services for us. Deputy Sasser, when he picks up an animal, evaluates that animal and determines whether or not it is the condition of the animal, the disposition of the animal, and where it needs to be placed. Most of those animals are either vicious animals or very sick animals, and those are immediately transported to the Ouachita Parish Animal Control Facility, because that's the only place that we have to put that type of animal. The exceptions to those rules would be if we have an animal that has, let's say, bitten someone, but otherwise we know who the owner is, and we're waiting for the rabies test to come back. We have 5 kennels that are reserved for our use at the Ruston Animal Control Facility for temporary holds. So those animals are held there. If, in a rare occasion that we have an animal that he picks up that is what we consider to be rescuable, in other words, the animal is healthy, not vicious, and is an animal that he considers to be rescuable, then he will transport that animal to one of the local animal rescue facilities, Four Paws being the first one that he will go to to see if they have capacity to take that animal. I can say this, I don't know.
We pay a fee, city and.
Yes, and we pay a fee to Washita Parish for their animal control operations that we take advantage of. And Laura, I believe this year we paid them about $1,300 for up until this point this year. City of Ruston charges us as we use their facilities, and I would say that cost this year has not exceeded a couple $100 this year. I don't know that we have utilized the services of Four Paws this year maybe less than 10 times have we taken any animals there. Typically what I've been told is that when he takes an animal there, he's told that there's not room at the facility for them to take an animal. Now, what happens is he takes that animal to Washita Parish. Washita Parish has a network of rescue facilities that they work with, and then those facilities will typically come and get that animal and put them in a rescue type situation.
And there's another.
I have a question.
Yes.
Mr. Pastel.
Yes, ma'am.
So, with that being said, under no circumstances will we use Four Paws for anything, or will we have to pay them a rate if we are forced to use it?
I would say this. I am certainly willing to sit down with Four Paws or any other rescue
There's another one that
organization, because we have at least one other one in the parish, and negotiate with them a per animal fee. If we take an animal to them and they're able to take that animal, I think it's certainly fair for us to pay a reasonable fee for them to take in that animal, and I'm certainly willing to do that. I think that doing it by that method would be a much more cost-effective method than what we're currently doing. I'm in favor of us paying for the services that we receive.
Agreed.
Okay, time is a factor. Let's move into number 17 on your list. Northeast Delta Human Services.
Did we want to vote on that one yet, or do you want to wait?
We didn't even have a motion.
We were talking, so you know.
You want to?
I would say since we don't use them for what they intentionally, I would make a motion to not fund them the 24.
I second it.
I second this.
Well, would you make a motion to fund them and then vote? Or would you make a motion at all?
I would say make a motion not to fund them the 24.
I would say since the request has been made, you need to make a motion to decline the request.
That's true.
All right, you have a motion to decline the request. We have a second.
Ms. Mayfield, second.
We have a second, Ms. Mayfield. Those in favor of this motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying nay. That motion is approved. We'll move into, let's see, we better move into Keep Lincoln Parish Beautiful. The request, as we have funded for the last 2 years, is $7,500.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
All right, we have a motion, Mr. Henderson. We have a second. All right, Mr. Pullen, second, Sam. Those in favor of that motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed to that motion indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it, the motion passes. North Delta Human Services Authority. What we have done in the past is $1,530 for the last 2 years, and that's their request this year.
I move that we grant their request.
All right, we have a motion by Ms. Mayfield. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Mr. Pulley. Those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying nay. That is approved. Lincoln Parish Health Unit, the request, as has been the request for the last 2 years, is $18,500.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Mr. Henderson, we have a motion.
Second.
Do we have a second? Second?
Mr. Pullen, it's
Pullen, all right, I didn't see that. All those in favor of that motion indicate by saying aye. Those opposed to the motion, those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed to the motion indicate by saying nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. All right, Lincoln Parish Health Unit, of according to my calculations, and you better help me with this, we are complete with those first 19 items. Are there any questions or comments? Any questions or comments? All right, let's move into new business, and we'll discuss salaries and wages.
All right, Ms. Lacy, you want to come forward and talk about our salary and wage recommendation?
She said you were.
Would you want me to handle that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, no problem. All right, so our recommendation would be that we approve a 2.5% adjustment for our employees this year. This is pretty much in line with what the jury has done in the past. I think that we certainly have, going forward in the budget, this is something that we can handle in our budget, and that's going to be the administration's recommendation for this next year.
All right, we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Bullock makes a motion.
Second.
All right, Mr. Henderson makes a second. Discussion, questions, comments regarding this?
2.5% across the board.
2.5% across the board makes it even.
Okay, I still, we need to still talk about how we're going to adjust certain departments' salary. That's not even in here. So, could you kind of discuss that?
Yes, ma'am, and that, we are looking, I will tell you this, and we've had some ongoing discussions, and those discussions are still ongoing with particular departments, particularly about particular positions. And Laura and I have really had some long conversations about how we can address the concerns that have been brought to us by certain jurors, and I will just tell you that we're not ready to come with an overall recommendation for how to solve that problem, but we are working on it. I will tell you that one particular area that concerns me, and I know concerns some of our superintendents, is that we have we're having some big issues right now, and this tracks across all industry in attracting truck drivers and attracting heavy equipment operators. It has been a big issue for us, and we're trying to brainstorm not just pay incentives for those particular areas, but also just recruiting incentives, helping people understand that we have a very attractive benefits package. We still have a pension, which is unheard of in the private world these days, and we need to help people understand what that is and how they benefit them. And so there are a lot of things that we're looking at as far as employee retention and employee recruitment. And so, but right now the issue is the across the board for all of the salaried employees, and so that's what this issue would solve.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the committee, we will vote on that 2.5% raise. Those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed to the motion indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it, that motion is approved. And at this point in time, is there any other business to come before this committee? Seeing none, we stand adjourned.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is approval of agenda. We have one revision to the agenda. We need to amend item 9. Needs to be changed to the meeting will be November the 16th at 5:15 p.m. So I have a motion to amend the agenda accordingly.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Be a roll call.
I want to make sure they're right. Mr. Stronger and Henderson, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Wyatt,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Durrett,
Yes.
Cranford is absent, Hunt,
Yes.
Scriber,
Yes.
Pullen,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes?
Henderson,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Mayfield,
Yes.
Straughter,
Yes.
11 yeas, 1 absent.
Unanimous. Okay. I have a motion that we approve the agenda as amended.
I make that motion.
Strong makes a motion, second, Melton seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous. Are there any public comments of any agenda item? Anybody in the public got any comments? Hearing no comments, we'll go to the next item, the minutes of the September the 14th, 2021 meeting.
Mr. President, if there are no corrections, I make the motion that we accept those minutes from September 14th.
I second that motion.
Motion by Ms. Strawman, second by Mr. Melton, to approve the minutes as presented. Any discussion? Any comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Public Works Committee meeting report, Matt Pullen.
Yes, sir. We, Public Works met this evening at 6 p.m. We had no old business, new business. We authorized the emergency purchase for 2 tank car culverts. We authorized the piggyback purchase for Washington Parish Waste Area for the chip spreader. We also authorized the approval for, we approved the purchase of 1 new heavy-duty truck, tractor truck for solid waste department. And we also approved a change order, number 1 for the bridges. Then approved substantial completion for Walnut Creek and Beach Road bridges. And we approved the Shooter High School softball field assistance. There was no other business. And I would like to make this recommendation from the committee in the form of a motion.
You have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Straw. Any discussion or questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Insurance Committee, Mr. Russell.
Mr. President, the Insurance Committee met at 5:45 today, Tuesday, October the 12th, at the Lincoln Parish Lincoln Event Center. There were 2 items on our agenda. Number 1, there was a property value insurance renewal. Mr. Graham of the Lincoln Agency presented his report. There will be an increase in premium of approximately 5.5% over next year. Ultimately, that percentage will probably be reduced to 4% because we have a number of vehicles that we have insured that are going to be sold, and they are that insurance will then be canceled. Secondly, we have an increase in value because of inflation to the property values of all of our facilities, and that helped increase the cost of that premium. That motion was made and seconded and approved. Item number 2, group health insurance renewal for 136 employees for for the next year. That item was brought before the committee. There will be a very slight decrease in the premium for the entire year. That was also approved. I want to move to accept the report and approve the recommendations of the committee.
Second.
Who seconded it?
I did.
Ms. Templeton. Any discussion or questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Personnel and Benefits Committee, Ms. Templeton.
Personnel and Benefit Committee met at 6:15. The committee approved the appointment of Kyle Warner to Greater Ward 1 Waterway District for a 5-year term. Also appoint Benjamin A. Thomas to Waterway District 1 for a 5-year term. And we also voted to designate Mr. Tony Lacey as our ADA officer for the parish. And we also amended the holiday schedule for 2022 by taking away Mardi Gras and adding Juneteenth. Mr. President, I make the motion that we accept the committee's report.
Second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Henderson, seconded by Ms. Strawman. Any questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Finance Committee, Mr. Russell.
Mr. President, the Finance Committee met today at the Library Event Center at 6:30. All members were present. There were 2 major items. One item, we had a request of approximately 19 different agencies to be funded And may I read those agencies and the funding that was approved by the committee? Lincoln Total Community Action, $6,000. Bayou Lake Darbone Commission, $1,800. Sparta Groundwater Commission, $2,500. Department of Veterans Affairs, $79.17. Council on Aging, $5,000. IT Department, $20,000. Lincoln Parish GIS, $25,000. Third Judicial District Court, $137,700. Louisiana Cooperative Extension Service, $20,000. Lincoln Parish Registrar of Voters, $50,000. Lincoln Parish Coroner, $60,483. Lincoln Parish District Attorney, $244,660. Trailblazers, $2,500. Keep Lincoln Parish Beautiful, $7,500. North Louisiana Delta Services Authority, $1,530. Lincoln Parish Health Unit, $18,500. And I believe those are all the items that were requested and approved. The second item that came before was salary and wages of the employees of the police jury. And by unanimous vote, we approved a 2.5% raise for every employee. And I'd like to move to accept this report and accept the recommendations of the members of the committee.
Second.
Second by Mr. Henderson. Any discussion, comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous.
Mr. President,
Yes,
I abstain.
I abstain,
oh, excuse me.
because of corn and worked out of my
Okay,
office.
Ms. Rose abstained because of her relationship with the corn.
All right.
And I abstain because my wife is on the board of Lincoln Total.
Okay. Two abstentions, excuse me. Okay. All right. Next item is adoption of the sale of adjudicated properties partial 251-830-86301.
Yes, this was introduced last meeting, and this is part of the Lot Next Door program. And so this is approval of the adoption of the ordinance of that property. That sale was for $1,663.86.
I hear a motion.
So moved.
Second. Mr. Motion. Mr. Hunt seconds. Any discussion, questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Next one, adoption of ordinance sale of adjudicated property 221-839-89258.
This is the second piece of property that was introduced last meeting. Once again, this is done through the Lot Next Door program. Sale of this property, $2,685.33.
Make the motion. Mr. Melton makes a motion.
Second.
Second by Mr. Scriber. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Next item is a resolution confirming the election date change pursuant to the executive order of the governor establishing a new date to canvass the return to the election and providing other matters of connection thereto.
Yes, sir. You see a sample resolution in your packet. Basically, this is just a resolution that's necessary in order to have the canvassing of the election returns. You will note that there will be a date change on here, and that will be in line with the change made on your agenda earlier today. Otherwise, this is resolution necessary for the canvassing of the election returns.
That date will be November 16th, 5:15.
That's correct.
Okay, I hear a motion to adopt this resolution.
So, second.
Mr. Fowler made a motion, Mr. Henderson second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Announcement of special meeting to canvass the election.
And the meeting will be held, as we said, on November 16th. That's Tuesday at 5:15. We'll hold that meeting in this room. And that will be canvassing of the library millage election.
So do we need to vote on that? It says it now.
It's just
Okay. All right, all system approved, annual certification.
Item number 10 in your packet, this is an annual certification that we're required to do by DOTD and through the federal government, and this is to make us in compliance with the off-system bridge program that we participate in. The off-system bridge program is just a program that says that we complete certain required maintenance, including inspection, load ratings, postings, and other information required by DOTD for us to participate in this program. And it allows us to basically build up credit with them, and after we build up enough credit, they build a bridge for us. It takes a little while for us to build up the credit, but it's a good program, and this resolution is necessary for us to participate.
You know, I have a motion to adopt this resolution.
Second.
I
Who made the motion?
Second, Mr. Wilson.
Okay.
Any discussion, any questions? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, unanimous. Resolution expressing condolences, Lake Parish Police Sheriff on the death of Bobby Bennett, former Police Sheriff District 3. You want me to- is that-
To express the condolences of the Lincoln Parish Police Jury upon the death of Mr. Bobby Bennett of Dubai. Whereas Bobby Bennett passed away on October 1st, 2021 at the age of 80 in Dubai, Louisiana. And whereas Bobby Bennett served multiple terms as police juror of District 3 in Lincoln Parish from January of 1988 to December of 2019. And whereas Bobby Bennett represented the citizens of District 3 with honor and distinction, serving on many police jury committees, including the adjudicated property, economic development, health and welfare, joint ambulance, long-range planning, parks, recreation and tourism, personnel benefits, public property and buildings, public works, rural fire protection, solid waste, SPARTA, subdivision code of ordinances, utilities franchise, and whereas Lincoln Parish has greatly benefited from the services and leadership of Bobby Bennett, therefore, let it be resolved by the Lincoln Parish Police Jury convened in regular session this 12th day of October 2021 that is hereby express sincere and heartfelt condolences upon the death of Bobby Bennett, and does hereby express enduring appreciation for his services and contribution to Lincoln Parish.
I'd like to make that motion.
Second that motion.
Is Rogers on?
Who?
I thought you had pointed.
No.
Okay.
You want to make the motion? I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Russell makes a motion.
Yep.
Who second? Mayfield. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Okay, introduction of ordinance adjudicated property parcel 0517 for FXT020.
Okay, and this is item number 12 in your packet, and if you will take note, there's a map. It's a little hard to see, but I can give you an idea. This is in Mr. Durrett's district, on Highway 507.
In fellowship.
Yep, this is the Fellowship Community. And this is, it's across from the, what I would say, the Southern Fellowship Cemetery. Is that a good way of putting that?
It's across from Battles, where AJ Battle Store was.
There you go. You know where it is. This is
Jameson probably does.
1.21 acres here. Minimum bid on this property, $3,540.84.
How much again, Mr. Pastor?
$3,540.84 is the minimum bid.
Okay.
This is just an introduction, that's correct.
Okay, the next one is an introduction of ordinance to sale of adjudicated property parcel 07173000008.
Okay? This particular property, once again, this is item number 13 in your packet. Page 26 is the map. This is on China Grove Road in District 2. This is 2 acres. And it is not very far off of, what's the crossroad there? Lundy Road, thank you. It's not far off Lundy Road. This has, you may see on the map there, it has a structure on it. It has a house on there, but the house is abandoned and grown up. It is not inhabitable at this current time. Minimum auction bid on this property is $16,319.24.
Any questions? I have on that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Just using this as an example because I'm familiar with this piece of property. When the amount owed on this property exceeds the value of that property, what happens to it? It just keeps accumulating?
Repeat the question, Paul, because I want to make sure exactly what you're asking.
When the amount owed on the property exceeds the value of the property,
Right.
it keeps,
The taxes.
it just keeps going. Because a couple of years ago, this was $10,000, and it's just,
It's a problem. Now, I'm going to say this because I don't know the case of this property, and I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I think someone on this jury mentioned this recently. So often what we see on some of these properties is someone passes away, and the heirs don't know how to deal with the situation, and therefore the property gets behind on taxes. And I had a great conversation with the United Way the other day. They have a particular program that helps people to understand property heirship so that people don't get in these types of situations. And I'm pleased to say that when I had a conversation with our attorneys that handle our adjudicated property program, that they were very familiar with the program and that they work with the United Way in the Washita Parish on putting on seminars. And so I'd like to work with them on hosting a seminar here in Lincoln Parish for our citizens to help them understand these heirship issues so that we don't have properties that get in these types of situations.
is there any kind of way the police jury can legally transfer that property to organizations that build houses for people?
I don't know about that. I know that we can take adjudicated property and use it for our own use, use it for public use, but I don't know if we can use it for that type of use. I doubt it, but I'll be glad to look into it for you.
Okay.
Lewis, that would be a good question for Lewis.
I don't think you can, but I also would need to look into it, but I don't think you can.
Technically, we don't own it, right? I mean, we're just managing.
That's right.
At this point, yes, sir.
We don't own it.
Do we not own the adjudicated property that we have assumed?
Yeah, we do after a period of time, right, Lewis?
Again, I'll have to look into that also.
Yes, we have some that we have. That's correct.
Yeah, at that time, I think it was 10 years or something, because that's been a while ago, it might have changed.
That's right.
If we possess it for 10 years, then we have title to it. But that,
I know there's some areas where that's happened, yes.
Ms. Timpson,
But on that adjudicated property, the other taxing agents, do they have a part in that property? A lot of cases.
Yeah, their tax debt has to be satisfied. That's
Right,
correct.
they have to be
Yes,
satisfied.
that's right.
I don't think by being adjudicated to the jury's got to satisfy that.
Again, I don't do much with adjudicated property, but I would check.
Nor do I, and Kevin's not here, so, but we can answer all these questions. You send me the questions, I'll be glad to answer for you.
The attorney, the legal attorney that helps it, she probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're doing it with the property.
So we need to check, we need to check into that to make sure. Okay, any other questions about adjudicated property? If not, we'll now move to the budget report, and Ms. Laura Hart is going to pass this off to Michael Sutton, our new financial manager, and let him do this for the first time.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Appreciate that. Obviously, the budget actual report that you have in front of you is for September 2021. It should look familiar to you as what Laura normally provides each meeting. If we look on page 1, we have the general fund in front of you. We can see that we do need to make some budget amendments for several lines, but overall, we are within the 5% variance we expect to see this time of year. If I could direct your attention to page 2, to the special road fund. As reported previously, we had significant repair costs to some equipment in this fund, and we will propose a budget amendment at the November meeting to cover this overage. Page 3 is both road funds. At this time, there are no unexpected budget variances in these funds year to date. We'll skip over to page 5, which is the library fund. Payroll and benefits are running 10% under budget as a result of the staff cuts earlier in the year. There's also an item on there where the library purchased several new computers. They did do that with the state library grant in September. You may notice that on line 132. Yep. You want to take a look at that. On page 6, we have the solid waste distribution fund. As we have reported to you previously, sales taxes are trending over budget all year this year. This explains why the related distributions are over budget. And that would be a great segue into the next point, moving on. The sales tax deposited in September, which was collected in August, was $633,520. That's $633,520. And compared to the same month in 2020, it was $550,079. So there was an increase of 15% over that same month in last year.
One comment about that is that sales tax goes for two things. One is solid waste disposal and detention center.
Detention center.
Right. So general operation of the jury as well as the road, we don't, not the sales tax doesn't affect.
Mr. Chairman, I want to make a comment. We are having a very good year financially versus 2 years ago when we really faced an uphill battle. Severance taxes are up, and that's wonderful. I want to remind everybody, when we do very good, we can't just go fund this, that, and the other. Those dollars are not my dollars or your dollars. They are the taxpayers' dollars. We must be conservative in how we spend those dollars. Thank you.
I have one other point that I want to make, Mr. President. Just to let everyone know, Laura and I have gotten together. We have set the schedule for the budget process to begin, and we plan to provide the jury with the 2022 budget draft at the November meeting to be adopted in December. And we will follow the same schedule for the amended budget.
Very good.
That's all I have.
You did a good
Thanks.
job.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Back on schedules.
That's all I have.
Any questions for Michael or Laura? We appreciate Laura helping, working with Michael and making the transition.
Let me tell you something. I said this last meeting, but it's worth repeating. Michael has been a tremendous asset in addition to our office. He and Laura are working incredibly well together, as well as he is working very well with the rest of the team. And I couldn't be more pleased.
And I told him, I said, I may make a mistake and call him Reagan something instead of.
He's so much nicer.
Okay. Any other comments about the financial? If not, department head reports.
Okay. Kip, we'll start with you tonight. Department of Security.
We received some emails last couple of days, payment notifications that Hurricane Laura, a little over a year ago, 5 small projects that add up to about $171,000. We're going to be receiving payment on those very quickly, so we're moving along on that, so trying to get a reimbursement. And those are at either a 90% reimbursement rate or 100%, depending on the project.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Doss, Highway Department?
As of last month, we completed our chip seal program for this year. We had a couple more projects, cross-train projects we have to do, and that'll be the finish for 2021. Right now, we have a bridge that we're working on Mitchell Road. We'll be installing 2 tank cars on it. The mowing crew, they're on Gar Road on their second round, so they'll keep going until probably December.
I didn't hear what he said about Gar Road.
Mowing.
That's where the mowing crew is right now.
Oh,
The mowing crew. That's all I have this month.
And I'll say that the Highway Department guys did a great job on our chip seal program. As I mentioned earlier, they're working hamstrung right now without enough drivers, without enough heavy equipment operators. So if you know folks, tell them to call us, because we certainly could use the help. But they've done a good job with the limited manpower that they've had. James, Park.
Mowing, so I think we're pretty close to being through in our place. Hopefully one more round. But we hosted the ribbon cutting for the archery range, and just want to thank Mr. Schreiber, because without him, we don't have an archery. Appreciate all his work.
That's great.
Good job.
And been working with the American Society of Civil Engineers at Louisiana Tech. They will be hosting in June, I think it's the 2nd through the 5th, international competition. And one of those competitions is a concrete canoe race. We've hosted that before at the park on 2 separate occasions, and we will be hosting this international competition June 5th.
Can I ask James a question?
Yes, sir.
Do any of them concrete boats ever sink?
Absolutely. Probably. It's crazy. I mean, to see those, they come out, if you want to watch them, they practice every Sunday afternoon around 2 o'clock in the afternoon at the park.
That is something to see. You never see that. That's quite a.
I want to see that.
Mr. Ramsey did not mention a small miracle that started occurring today at the park.
Oh.
And that is, Suddenlink showed up today at the park and started boring for our internet connection at the gatehouse.
My Lord. How long have we waited for that?
10 years.
Years. But that was one of my missions when I showed up, is James and I doubled down on him and hollered and screamed at everybody we could find, and we finally got a little movement. Now let me tell you what that means. That means that when we can finally get our internet connection at the gatehouse, we will institute online reservation system for our campground, for our pavilions and things like that, so people don't have to come in person, first come, first served. We can actually get into the 21st century with how we're handling business at the park, and so we're very excited about that. And so will our clients, our customers. They'll be happy about that as well. Maurice, do you have anything from the sewer department?
Just a little something. As James stated, grass season is almost coming to an end. So we have about 6.36 miles of gravity sewer line. So I'm about to get started on cleaning and degreasing all of that pipe.
Good deal, thanks.
Major project.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate you very much. Marcy is responsible for closing down the library tonight, and so she's not able to be with us, but I'm sure that she will just would ask us to put in a good word with your friends and neighbors about our millage renewal for the library.
November 13th.
Absolutely. Just essential for the continuation of the services that our library provides. Did I miss anyone, any department heads? I have just one item I want to bring to you, and that is that our website has been completely revamped. And once again, thank you to Devin that has led out on that project, and Kevin has helped her quite a bit. Monday, that website will launch. So starting Monday, when you go to lincolnparish.org, you will see our completely revised website. I hope you'll be excited about it. I think it reflects very well upon our parish as a whole. I think it's very attractive, but more importantly, I think that it is very good for our citizens to be able to access information that they need, helps them interact with their government, helps them to get everything they need to be more informed. I'm going to say this up front. This website is there to serve many people, many agencies. It's not going to please, every aspect of the website will not please every single individual, okay? If you see errors, you're welcome to bring those to our attention, but please understand we're not building it for any particular individual and for your pleasure. It's built for the whole of the parish and for our agencies. And so we hope that you will look at it, enjoy it, and at some point in time, maybe next month, we'll take a few minutes and walk through it with you so you can see all the features that it offers. All the jurors' pictures are on there. The bios that you provided will be on there. Your district information will be on there. Your contact information will be on there as well. And so that'll be a great feature. Yes, and it is an ongoing project, so it is not finished in its entirety. It has a lot more capacity, and we'll be adding features as we go forward. Yes, Ms. Strong.
Is there any way to monitor how many visitors or people?
Absolutely.
have access to-
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, and we will be doing that.
Any questions, other comments, or the jurors? Okay, you want to talk about the ribbon cutting at the archery range?
Oh, we had a record-setting crowd. We had an incredible crowd. I mean, I don't know how many people normally show up for a ribbon cutting. I had asked that to the lady at the chamber, and she said maybe 30 is a high number. I think we had in excess of 30 people there. Oh, yes. I think we had 40 or so there. And so we'll call it record-setting numbers.
And there was good publicity on it.
Yeah, it's been some great, coverage on the thing, and, like I said, I'm the recipient of a lot of text, calls, emails, and things like that, and it's all incredibly positive, and I in turn, just shed the light right back on Lincoln Parish. It's what the goal of this thing is, and that's what I do, is to shed it back to the parish, to the park, and other people.
I want to thank Mr. Boatwright for covering that on the online journal, because unfortunately I couldn't make it, but thanks to you, I was updated. Thank you.
Can I ask a question, Mr. Judge?
Yes.
Since it's ready, who will be booking tournaments and events? Is it James or some organization or what?
Probably what would happen on that is if they call the parish part and they get information on that, James would probably get in touch with me, and we would kind of work together on scheduling, things of that nature. Just like if they were directly get in touch with me, I would have to check with James to see if there's a conflict, because in a park like that, it could possibly be a conflict where you can't hold that, that type of event on a particular weekend. So we'll have to coordinate it together. James, would you say that'd be accurate?
Sure, just like with running races, 5Ks, trail runs, mountain bike races, concrete canoe races, we gotta see if it fits in there, and then we can accommodate, their needs. Cedar Creek Cross Country Meet, that's huge, so obviously we couldn't have an archery meet on the same weekend as something of that nature. So, yeah, we'll work in concert together, and want to try to accommodate them, to bring them to our community and help them any way we can, so that that's brings money into our community.
That's it.
Let me also just mention that we had many jurors that were able to come to the ribbon cutting, and that's wonderful. If for some reason you weren't, or remember the public wasn't, all those pictures are posted and available on our Facebook page. And in addition, Devin is working on a flyer for the archery range. So if you have someone that might be interested in it, those will be available to post and will also be available to mail out to other organizations that might be interested in using it. So.
Any other comments, questions about
Yeah.
Gerald?
One more. I want to thank Ms. White. She came to me with an idea, and I kind of forgot. She reminded me again, kindly. And so, which is a great idea. She talks about in her shop where people come and she wants them to go see the park there from out of town, and she tries to like give them $3 or $6, and they don't want to take it. So she said we ought to sell one-day passes that they can buy, a merchant can buy, and then have them there that they can give out. And so we should have those available next week. And thank you, Ms. White, for that idea.
Good idea.
Any other comments about Gerald? If not, are there any public comments? Anybody in the public have a comment? If not, the meeting is adjourned.